What is hedonism? Hedonism is the idea that all things are based off of pleasure or pain. This is a really good idea of the world, to be honest. The term pleasure encompasses positive feelings such as relief, satisfaction, euphoria, exhilaration, exultation, elation, and just pure delight. The term pain encompasses all negative feelings such as fear, grief, guilt, melancholy, nausea, remorse, terror, unease, and vexation. It can also include things such as boredom and loathing. It also encourages the idea of love versus hate. But what do these tell us further about the nature of people, and what values do we look for, and what do we try to avoid? Do we try to gain pleasure? The idea about whether pleasure is a sensation that can be felt is also a matter of debate. They claim that we feel pleasure, but they don't really know whether it's a feeling or a sensation. So hedonism is like the opposite of sadism, where hedonism claims that pleasure is the number one virtue over pain. Sadism believes that people strive for pain over pleasure, and that inflicting pain on others is a way that you sort of gain pleasure. So which features of pleasure are most closely related to its value? Well, Bentham claimed that there are at least 6 dimensions of value in a pleasure or a pain: intensity, duration, certainty or uncertainty, propinquity or remoteness, which is like the proximity of it, fecundity, which is like the intensity, and purity, or how pure and how concentrated that emotion would be. This is what we can refer to as a hedonistic calculus, and it is actually really interesting. You can calculate things like the magnitude of pleasure or pain or trauma, which would be defined as the duration of the emotion, such as pleasure, multiplied by the intensity of it. The basis of the theory is that all aspects of, I actually have a pretty cool link in the description talking about hedonistic calculus. The basis of the theory is that all aspects of well-being historically and throughout history have focused solely on aspects of pleasure and pain. They are not just merely elements of the theory, but they are the theory itself. That's the main thing they have to understand. Like, what makes hedonism different than other theories that talk about pleasure and pain is that hedonism is only pleasure and only pain. It's all it talks about, is the superiority of pleasure over pain. What would a hedonist say to a sadist? He would probably say that if doing what he is doing, inflicting pain, terror, and suffering on others, is what makes him crazy, is what makes him happy and have pleasure, then this is what he should do, because that is what is best for his well-being. There are many hedonists, new and old, other than pure quantitative hedonists, who would say that this is not the case, though, that hedonism even would say that sadism is bad by doing a different reinterpretation of the original hedonism, and saying that it's not really the same pleasure that you're getting out of doing what's actually good, like listening to an opera or doing things that would normally cause people pleasure. So yeah.